Hey everyone, it's your girl Leslie, and welcome to my channel. So hey everyone, I hope you enjoy the newish slash intro. I decided to kind of get away the old one since, I liked it, but then I was like, the sound So I just changed it up a bit and used one of my own images. Fun fact, I actually am the one who took that picture that's in the intro. This is what it actually originally looks like, but with effects and all the cool stuff, it looks cooler. But it is that literal image. I really do like the new intro. It was really nice. Do you guys like it? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, I decided to get back onto the story because we haven't read this in forever. And I kind of wanted to kind of get at least a new video out about it. So let's just get straight into this. Chapter 14, Trust is Fragile. Wyatt giggled while she watched Cletus and Red on the opposite side of the couch have an argument over food. It seemed both loved the taste of the dinner she had made, which resulted in a turf war of the contents on their plate. Red was greedy, but Cletus was equally so. The dinner for the two of them consisted of 2 hot dogs and fries, but God forbid they each have a hot dog and split the fries. No. Someone had to have more than the other, which granted was a pointless fight considering it fed the same person. Cletus was constantly swatting Red's head away as he devoured his fries. "You two are insane," she said, watching as Cletus paused to smile towards her. "You've got that right, Dove," he chuckled, leaving his plate unguarded for a second. Red took that second to drag a fry off of his plate and swallow it down like a pelican would a fish. "Red!" Cletus snapped in response. "Wyatt, can you believe I have to deal with this every day?" he asked, causing her to just smile as he watched. She ate one of her own fries before turning back to the movie they were watching. It was her favorite movie Cletus had agreed to watch with her. In return, they would watch his favorite after, which, of course, just had to be Alien. She guessed that the guy loved the monster xenomorph thing and the gore. "Cletus, I'm not a fan of the crazy gore that's in those movies, by the way," she warned. I mean, it's really cool, though. But anyway, Cletus placed his now empty plate of food on the coffee table. "Unlike you, I'm not immune to it." "I suppose that's fair. I mean, I've torn out and eaten people's spines before, a couple of hearts, quite a few eyes, fingers, or leg He's paused as she put her plate down. Sorry. "That will make my nightmares about Carnage all the more visual," she muttered. She noticed his eyes narrow. "What? Your nightmares are about me?" His voice came out sounding almost hurt, as if she had personally jabbed him with the comment. I thought you trusted me. You said you love me, but you don't trust me?" No, Cletus, I trust you," she replied, putting her plate down and shifting her position to face him. I trust you. It's more of the full form. I trust Carnage," she tried to assure him, but he gave a look that appeared to be that of annoyance. "Wyatt, I am Carnage, and if you trust me, you wouldn't be having those nightmares about me," he replied, voice laced with displeasure. "What am I even doing to you in these dreams? Hitting you, scratching you, biting you?" As he spoke, she looked away, giving away the answer. "So, all the above? What other wicked things do you see me do? Do I ever kill you or violate you?" "No. Stop, Cletus. Don't put the idea of it in my head," she told him, watching as he turned his head away with a scoff. "If you love me, you should trust me, or was that a lie?" he questioned. Would you stop blowing things out of proportion? It was one nightmare. I do love you, she told him, moving slightly closer to him. If I just had a bad dream. Everyone has bad dreams. I know you wouldn't do any of that stuff to me, right? I wouldn't dream of it. So, neither should you, he muttered, which made her sigh. He eyed her for a long moment. But seriously, I wouldn't dare do anything like that to you. I cherish you, and I don't think I'm able to do anything to harm you. I know, she told him in a soft voice. You constantly prove that to me. She placed a gentle kiss on his cheek, and she found his arm pulling her in close. She didn't object and moved onto his lap. I'm thankful for how you take care of me. Well, yeah, I try my best. Sometimes I may come off as a little bit aggressive, but I don't mean to. I guess I just have done something that day to scare you, he sighed, Wyatt pausing to think about it. She didn't remember Cletus doing anything to scare her. Really, that dream was very much uncalled for. Ding, ding, ding! He leaned in for another kiss, and she gave it to him. She made the kiss quick, breaking it a couple seconds later. Should we watch your movie, handsome? Just give me a warning before the scene gets too bloody, she told him, running her fingers along his jawline with a loving smile. All right. Can't guarantee I'll be watching the movie, though, beautiful, he whispered back in response, placing a final kiss to her neck. The action sent a shiver down her spine, which she failed to tell herself was just the cold room and not Cletus. Hey, Cletus, can I see your full form real quick? She asked, the man raising a brow at her in confusion. He still gave her a soft nod in response, taking his hands off of her to make sure that when the claws grew, they wouldn't prick her skin. Red rose up from his skin, covering him until they became one entity, growing vicious fangs and deadly claws that looked identical to the ones within her dream. Once the transformation was complete, they raised a hand and brushed the back of a claw against her cheek. I'm here, babe, they purred softly. The hands rested gently on her hips, careful and still. Wyatt couldn't help but look at them in wonder. They were truly a beautiful work of nature. Nothing else like them existed, so it was amazing to be up close without the need to be afraid. You're such an interesting, beautiful creature, she whispered. Carnage chuckled at that. Her fingers gently traced the back lines of their face. Carnage had no objections to her touch. Only you would think so, Wyatt, they said before a fit of laughter escaped them. She quickly moved her hand back as they laughed, afraid those sharp teeth would cut her if she got too close to them. She noticed. Babe, it's alright, I'm not going to bite you or hurt you in any way for that matter, they assured her, Wyatt soon returning to letting her hands explore their form. One of her hands trailed over the muscles on their chest, still amazed by how powerful the Symmonite was. Carnage was watching her every move, tilting their head to follow the movement of their hand on their body. With Carnage reassuring that she was in fact safe, she ever so gently went back to their face. A finger trailed over a fang. They became still, fearing accidentally cutting her if they moved. She was surprised by how smooth the black tooth was to the touch. She moved her hand away and smiled. You're honestly pretty hot like this, she admitted, gently kissing the space between her eyes to avoid cutting a lip on the razor-sharp teeth. They purred and Wyatt giggled. You're pretty hot yourself, Dove. But are we gonna watch a movie or what? Oh, right. Time skip. Going to bed that night felt a little awkward, since Cletus didn't seem to want to drop the subject about her having a nightmare about him. He questioned what he could have done to trigger the dreams. Did I raise my voice at you at some point and end up scaring you? He asked, watching Wyatt brush her teeth. She shook her head at that. Did I say another creepy thing like I usually end up doing? She spat out the toothpaste before replying, no. She said, simply turning off the water. Anyway. As she walked out of the bathroom door, he followed close behind. Did I accidentally hurt you at some point? He continued to ask questions. Wyatt sighed and grabbed her pajamas. You didn't do anything, all right? Relax, she told him, turning back towards the bathroom where she could have changed. Before he could give her a direct reply, she closed the door on him. However, that didn't shut him up. Boy, if you don't get your ass back on that bed and shut your stupid ass up right now, can't you tell this isn't... Oh, well, you ain't her yet. Hold on. Okay, anyway. I just don't want to end up causing another one of these dreams, he called out from outside while she tried to change. He was silent for a moment. Is it because of Red? Did she accidentally do something? Go away, she complained, double-checking the lock on the door. At this point, she wouldn't doubt him bursting in if he had another suggestion to share. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was just gonna stare. Stop bordering me with these damn questions, fool. I don't know what caused the dreams. Well, dream. Sorry, it's not dreams yet. Huh. Oopsie. There was a sigh, and then a few moments of silence. Fine. She heard him mutter, then walk away from the door. She let out her own sigh of relief. She understood he was concerned about her, but wow, he was desperate to solve this problem. Neither of them even know if it is still an issue, or if it just had been a one-time thing. When she walked back out, Cletus was waiting for her on the bed. If you have another nightmare, tell me about it. I'm not going to get angry. I honestly feel a little threatened by it, he whispered as she walked in. Threatened? Wyatt echoed, walking over and sitting down beside him. She saw him instantly lean towards her, and he nodded his head. If you don't trust me, or should I say that your trust in me is fragile, he quickly corrected himself. If that trust breaks, you'll leave me and I'll be alone, he explained, placing his hand on hers. Now that I know that what it's like to have someone, I don't want to ever be alone again. But there's nothing I can do about it if you're scared of me. Love just can't disappear, she whispered, wrapping her arms around him and pulling him down onto the bed. He followed her down, deciding he really loved cuddling her. You don't have to worry about this, she told him, before a yawn escaped her. She really was tired. Go to bed, Dove, he whispered, before placing a kiss to her forehead. She smiled and got comfortable, enjoying the gentle kindness he gave her. And from her knowledge, she was the only person blessed to receive this kind of love from him, or any kind of love for that matter. She let out a small sigh and began to fall asleep in his arms. She prayed that the nightmares wouldn't haunt her tonight. Alright, y'all, so this is the worst mix of music ever. Why would they put this ad on me? Especially a band member. This is the worst music I've ever heard. That was nightmarish. Okay. Anyway, chapter 15. So I'm not gonna read this because this is yeah, y'all can see that. Good. So now y'all know where the smut is specifically. Long story short, they, and the love between them strengthens and basically causes the nightmares to just disappear. Like, poof, be goneth. Trust me, they have way more smut during as we read. So I'm not gonna be reading too much into it because a younger audience. And I mean, I am practically giving you where you can read it if you really truly want to read it. So I'm gonna tell you from reading experience, it is really good. And it's kind of like good for them because honestly, I think they needed it. They needed a break and they needed to get their love. They got closer during this. Let's just say that. All right. Okay, we're gonna. Let me check this real quick just in case. Let me see. Honestly. Sorry, y'all. I got rudely interrupted. Anyway, chapter 15 is the smutty part, and it ends there. So 16, there's no smut, but there's You know what? You'll figure it out as I read, alright? So, chapter 16, Shrieking Lust. Oh my gosh. She brushed out her tangled... Oh my gosh, excuse me. I honestly thought I was about to burp. Sorry. I had to make sure I got that out before I continued reading, or I'd read I'm like something just got shoved into my chest. Oh my god. Okay, anyway. Wyatt brushed out her tangled hair, ignoring the small spikes of pain caused by it pulling on the tangled mess. She must have really messed her hair up last night. Had she really been moving and squirming that much? She flinched slightly as hands came out of nowhere and were placed on her hips. She instantly relaxed as she realized it was Cletus behind her, gently holding on to her. He placed his head down on her shoulder, letting out a small, relaxed puff of air. "Morning, Cletus," she whispered, receiving a couple of kisses along her neck in response. Upon tilting her head up, giving him a better access to the red marks on her jawline left by Carnage, became more visible. Yes, before you ask. It wasn't just with Cletus, bro. They were in the full form while at it. Remember, chapter 15. Go read it if you have to. If you don't believe me. Okay, anyway. The red marks on her jawline left by Carnage became more visible. He examined them before speaking. "How's your wound?" Cletus asked, referring to the rough bite he had overlapped her previous collarbone scar with. She looked at it in the mirror for a long moment. "I apologize for that. It was the heat of the moment. I didn't think it through," he told her before rolling his tongue over his canines, as if he could taste her blood that they had drawn out of her. "It's all right. It doesn't sting that much anymore, and to be honest, the pain felt good mixed with the pleasure," she replied before placing her hairbrush down. She giggled softly, and he hummed in question. "Last night you called me your maid. That's an interesting term you don't hear often." "Was that also in the heat of the moment?" she asked. "Oh, shit." Cletus blushed slightly at the fact that saying one of those things was one of those things she recalled him saying. Hey, that was the Simonite half talking," he quickly replied, letting go of her and turning his head away in embarrassment. "At least you are considered with such value to my other," he added softly. "Oh, let me guess. They mate for life?" she asked with a soft smile. Cletus chuckled at the suggestion. "Not typically, but try to still take it as a compliment," he replied, scraping the nails at his... I thought that said snails. The hell? His nails at his shoulder until the small red head of red pushed out of his skin and into his hand. If I want to have you with me forever, I'm sure, for life, will work well for everyone." Wyatt smiled and turned to scratch the Simonite's head. She purred for a long moment before nipping at Wyatt's head in the form of a love bite. "Ow," she muttered. A thin line of blood escaped from the new silver-sized cut, now running along one of her fingers. "Red!" Cletus snapped, pulling her head back. The Simonite let out a small complaint at his action before glaring up at her host. "Don't bite her. She's got enough marks as it is. You are such a brat," he complained. Wyatt just smiling at the two. "Thank you for your protection, Cletus, but I doubt she's trying to hurt me. She just needs to work on how to show love," she told him, watching the Simonite curl around his shoulder. "I have to head off to work now. I'll be back by the usual time," she said, slipping on her jacket. Cletus nodded and then leaned in to give her a quick kiss. When she pulled away, he tugged her back in for another, and she accepted with only a small complaint. "Babe, I gotta go," she giggled, slipping free from it. I'm so sorry, everyone. I got extremely, oh my gosh, now I got extremely brain dead right now. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, y'all. Got interrupted big time, but it's okay. I'm back and I'm ready to continue. I don't even know how long this is. All right. Let's continue. Okay, where are we at? Okay. Babe, I gotta go. She giggled, slipping free from his grasp. All right, fine. Be careful, Wyatt, he told her, watching her every movement. He still worries over her constantly. If anything happens, just scream. I know. She finished for him, walking out of the door. I'll be all right. Goodbye, she added before closing the door behind her. Cletus sighed as he was left alone. Dee, I am so lonely. I have nobody on my own. Well, that's like that's what he's reminding me of right now. Okay. Anyway, continuing. Time skip or whatever. How did you ward off your spell? You said the nightmares would stick. So why didn't they? Loki questioned Daydream, who shrugged innocently. Loki shrugged, and Levi exchanged looks with the other girl beside him. Pointless. So pointless. How can she be chased away if she doesn't fear him? Loki, there is more than one way to keep her away and break his spirit, Levi pointed out. The woman beside him leaning over the table to... Fuck. Sorry, y'all. Leaning over the table the group surrounded. For example, our girl here has her own form of a plan. She chuckled, her black hair falling in her face. Indeed I do. The last time I saw my dear Carnage, they believed me to be dead. She said with a small sigh, you turn your back on a guy for 2 seconds and they find another girl. Really? Men are just pigs sometimes. Loki narrowed his eyes at her words. What did you say your name was? He asked, looking between Levi and the strange woman. My name is Shriek, and I am the true lover of Cletus Cassidy, she answered, licking her lip upward and then smiling. I'll be the one to separate Cletus and that pathetic girl, she hissed out. Loki smiled. Very well. Levi, where is it that you find these people? He asked the man, who only chuckled and shrugged in response. I found him, she answered, and if it weren't for me, he would be dead, she told Loki, making Levi scoff, and vice versa. Levi quickly added, receiving a glare from Shriek because of it. Loki cleared his throat. Go, Shriek. See how well you can manipulate his heart, he told the pale woman, who smiled and nodded. Nodded. Oh my god, I said nodded. Really? Gladly. Excuse me? Who's that? Man, whenever I read these stories by myself, I just kind of read really fast, so I don't really notice. Damn, I didn't even notice that part. Oh my lord. Okay, and continuing. Carnage froze in place. A scent flowing through the air caught their attention. A few minutes beforehand, they had decided to get out of the house, and, well, you see, it's been a while since they've actually gotten blood on their claws, and that craving hadn't disappeared from their mind completely. What is this? They spoke to themselves, quickly crawling alongside of a building. Their claws left small indents wherever they rushed across, which now were scattering the buildings around their home. The markings wouldn't be visible from the ground, but they couldn't shake the feeling of another Cinnabonite may be able to pinpoint their location based on the dens surrounding the territory they had claimed for themselves. Smells so familiar, they added, following the scent up to the rooftops. Familiar. So familiar. This isn't a scent that they would forget. They knew that much. They paused as a quick memory flashed through their mind, making their eyes widen. They knew the owner of this scent, yet they didn't believe it. Impossible, they growled, recalling a scene of the past. There had been a lot of fire and a lot of rubble, and they had even seen it. They had seen the body of the owner of the smell. It couldn't be her. Their senses were tricking them. With a final leap, they landed on top of the platform, making up the roof of the towering building. A woman stood not far from their position, and instantly a cold chill ran through Carnage. If her clothing and raven black hair didn't instantly give her away, her identity, The distinct scar across her eye did. Shriek? They called out, voice hardly more than a whisper. They were wary, claws tense to defend themselves if this turned out to be some sort of trap to set up to lure them in. Hello, Cletus, she replied, calling to the human half of the monster. It's been a while, hasn't it? She said, taking a couple steps towards Carnage. They quickly moved away with a hiss. You're not hurt. There's no way. You're dead. I saw you all bloody and crushed. They pointed out, narrowing their eyes and quickly looking the woman up and down. You don't even have a scar on you. Not from the falling rubble or the flames. I got better. Only recently have I gained enough strength to come out here and find you, she told them, ending in a small chuckle. She then tilted her head to the sides just slightly. Are you not happy to see me? No, they took a deep breath to think about what they were supposed to say. I really believed you to be dead. I'm relieved to know that you're still alive, they answered, despite that relief mixed with another feeling of dread. They thought of Wyatt for a quick moment before Shriek interrupted their thoughts. She moved closer to them, a hand running up against their skin. They tensed as Shriek fell against them and held onto them. Oh, Cletus, I've missed you so much, she cried out into their chest. It took him a moment to process what's going on. Wait, they argued, pushing her back. You can't touch me like that. They growled and stepped away. Shriek had a pout on her face the second they pushed her out. They pushed her off of them. She said she held herself and gave them a sad, coy expression, making their hearts skip a beat. Cletus, why? What's wrong? She whispered, sounding so innocent and kind despite her true, wicked past that Carnage was well aware of. There's someone else, they quickly explained, walking past to get away. I'm in love with another woman, and she loves me, they added, trying to ignore the feeling of Shriek staring at them intensely. You replaced me? She asked, a voice laced with pure bitter pain. You forgot about me so easily and quickly? What? No, I didn't get her to replace you, they immediately snapped. I just fell in love along the way, but not with the purpose of replacing you. She was just... I found her, and I just knew I needed her. They tried their best to explain, but really, they knew Shriek wouldn't listen to them either way. But you fell in love with me, too, didn't you? She asked, and they could hear her moving closer. But they stood their ground anyway. Love was a strong word to use for their little get-togethers, since in the eyes of Carnage, it had been nothing more than sex. Wow. So why don't you ditch the girl and come back to me, your first love? I'm not leaving her for you or anyone. They growled back, the intense feeling of possession growing inside of them. And she won't be letting you have me either. She knows she's mine and I'm hers. She won't leave me no matter what. Then don't leave her, Shriek whispered, a twist in her tone of voice. They knew that tone of voice, recalling the many times she had used it on them previously. I just ask one thing of you, Cletus. Arms wrapped around their waist from behind, holding them close. Please, just don't abandon me. Don't forget about me. I love you so much just for you to leave me here alone. Shriek. They could hear the sob in her voice, and their emotions immediately turned. They were well aware that Shriek could manipulate one's emotions from the strange power she possessed. But the problem was trying to distinguish that true emotion and distinguish what was the true emotion and what was the false emotion. Though they were sure their guilt was their own emotion. They never used to feel emotions. Not like this. There was joy and adrenaline rushes. But the emotions that were so very human, that had never been anything more than a small speck of light in the darkness of their mind. Maybe Wyatt changed them than they originally realized. If we were to have special little meetups, she would never need to know. Shriek's voice whispered to them. Shivers went up their spine at the mentions of such things. They were well aware of the lustful sin behind her suggestion. Never need to know? They repeated mindlessly, Shriek tightening her grip on them. It made their breathing hitch. We could have more time to ourselves while that girl isn't around. Cruel thing, leaving you alone for hours at a time, she said with a sigh. Carnage felt their heart race as she moved in front of them, never not touching them. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be letting her touch them like this. They shouldn't be so intrigued by this. They should be pushing Shriek away. Maybe even tearing her a new one for trying to get between them and Wyatt, but they didn't even try and stop her. What do you say, Cletus? Can we have some fun, just the two of us, just like it used to be? She asked, hovering her lips just inches from their dangerous fangs. Then you can go back home to your little girlfriend. There was a primal growl from Carnage. Oh, my lord. Now, I didn't read close enough to see if... So whatever I'm thinking right now that might happen, it better happen. Because if not, this girl is about to catch my damn hands. And this is what she looks like. Girl, shut your stupid ass up. We look better. Right, girls? Or people, we look better. Period. We look way better than that. In our fantasy. And in real life, we can look good, bitches. We can look good. Ladies support ladies. And we support everyone. Yay. Except when they're bad. And terrible. Genuinely terrible people. Anyways. Wow. All of these chapters were intense, kind of. But, like, romantic at the same time. I'm like, oh, bro. Like, realistically thinking, we both know that Carnage isn't stupid. We both know that Simonite isn't stupid. And we all know that they recently had their... So, I don't really think that's gonna... This thing that she's trying to put out, suggest isn't gonna happen. Carnage is like, no muchacho, yo tengo un girlfriend, and she's mighty fine, and I love her, and she's amazing. And she isn't like you. I'm good, homie. I am fresh out the box for that girl. You, though, you's expired. You's expired. You are expired. I saw you die. Just imagine them saying that. Like, no, girl. You was expired. It must smell like burnt tortillas in there mixed with dead fish, bro. Oh, just imagine. Okay. Stop. Okay. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more crazy videos, guys. Wow, I can't believe this is happening. Like, good bullshit, girl. Oh my goodness. Now I'm interested to know what's gonna happen, because I didn't read this part yet. Oh my lordy. Don't worry, I'll try and post one soon. Also, this is a very ginormous side note. I will try and find a good FNAF security breach X-Reader, or at least with some of the characters, at least one of them, because I really would like to read some FNAF, because FNAF has been part of my childhood and everyone else's. I have so many people requesting FNAF from me. So FNAF they're gonna get soon. Soon, I ain't gonna say now, but soon. I just gotta check which one's best first. But without further ado, y'all, I have to see y'all later. Bye and peace.